Okay, so as you all know, I grew up in Nigeria, and growing up in Nigeria can be one hell of a hassle. It does have its upsides, I mean, with all the customs and traditions and blah blah blah, but at the same time, it can be way annoying. I mean, for example, your parents beating you up for absolutely no good reason, and then when they realize they were wrong, they still expect an apology from you. Like, how does that work? Now, one of those customs in Nigeria, which is probably a common custom everywhere else, is going to church on Sunday. Now, I've been doing this for years. I mean, I've been attending masses, I've been, you know, serving at the altar. I mean, at this point, I am a warrior of God. Anyway, there was this one time when I was a kid and I was just sleeping and having this wonderful dream about eating a mermaid. And then my mom just barges into my room and I instantly knew why. Today was Sunday. I was supposed to go to church, but I really wanted to sleep. Until I sighted a pair of flip flops in her hand, which were definitely bound to give my ass a whooping if I didn't get up that very instant. So naturally, I did what any kid would do. I got up. So my mom walks over to me and she's basically like, "Okay, guys, time for church." I have no idea why she loves church so much. But it is only once a week, so I guess I could put up with it. So I'm like, oh shit, cool. Where's Melky and Leo? Now, for those of you who don't know, Melky and Leo are the names of my two siblings. My elder brother is named Melky. He's kind of a big guy, but I'm much bigger. And then Leo is my little brother. There was a time when he used to be cute and just follow me around wherever I went, but now he just sits in front of his computer watching some freaky shit. So then she basically goes, "Don't be making excuses. Leo's ready for his exams and Melky's working on his project." I could basically tell that that was her way of letting me know what a useless excuse for a son I was. And I think this is actually common among most middle children because it's actually pretty difficult knowing exactly what your role is in a family. But in the end, when all's said and done, we are the ones who keep the family together and stop it from falling apart. So shout out to all the middle kids out there. So after being vividly reminded what a disappointment I was, I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to church, and even though we normally don't do that there, I'm gonna give a testimony. I have no idea what doing that would prove to my mom, or even to me for that matter, but hey, I was 12, so don't judge me. Anyway, after solidifying my resolve like an absolute champ, I went into the bathroom and I took a shower. I took a dump, and I took a shower again because I was kind of a messy dumper back then, but not anymore. I put on my best clothes and I went to church. And when I reached the gates, I walked in like an absolute boss! Keep in mind that this was actually like the first time I was ever setting foot out of my house, like by myself. Now, as everyone is already in the church, the priest makes his way in. And when he does, he looks so beautiful and majestic and tall and thick. And just for the record, I am not gay. I am simply a man admiring his fellow man's physical features. Now, fast forward to like an hour into the service, I'm sitting there reading the church bulletin, listening to the preach, preach, priest, preach. I'm listening, sitting there, thinking of everything holy that I could think of. Suddenly, I feel this horrible force behind me, and when I turn around, I see this little kid, maybe like 5 years old or something. Let's just call him Ugly Kid for now, because he was damn ugly. And because he was damn ugly, I guess that made me feel a bit of sympathy towards him, because in a way, I kind of understood where he was coming from. He kind of had this face that looked like someone that's been bullied their entire life just because their parents gave them the worst possible genes known to man. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm actually a victim of bullying myself. There was this one time in, well, not just one time, maybe like multiple times in middle school, where this really fat, ugly kid, he was really super ugly, he just pushed me against the wall, called me weak, called me, all sorts of horrible things. And in a way, it did feel kind of bad, but at the same time, I could actually understand his reasons. Like, his reasons were justified. Because as much as he may have been super ugly, I was ugly as fuck. So I basically could, relate to why anyone would want to bully me. I mean, I'd bully me too if I had the chance. Now, this kid wastes no time in ruining my entire Sunday. He gives me no peace and quiet. I was so pissed. Like, I was ready to find this kid's parents and make them watch as I dookie in his mouth and make him swallow it. But then I instantly got distracted by the fact that it was almost time to say Hail Mary. So I look at this kid and I tell him, "Hey, buddy, why don't you, go over there and play with someone else?" He left. Now, this is where things actually get bad because when I told the kid to piss off, I had no idea that the direction I was pointing in was actually towards the altar where the priest was. Now, about 10 minutes later, I see Ugly Kid respawn on the altar with a metal bar in his hand, probably about the length of a baseball bat. He literally came back packing heat. Now, I don't know if his mama's titties was filled with creatine instead of milk, cause I have no idea how he was playfully swinging that metal bar around like that fat kid swung me around back in middle school. And for some phenomenal, unknown reason, no one, not even his own parents, decided to fetch him off that altar before he hurts himself or someone else. And as fate would have it, he had no intention of hurting himself, only someone else. Now you could already probably guess what happens next. He sneaks up behind the priest, all hee hee hee, I'm Bob Rayburn. And then he whacks the priest so hard, and normally this wouldn't have resulted in anything serious, but the problem was the fact that after he did this, the priest ends up tripping on his robe, and I don't know if he was trying to do a breakfall or something, but obviously he didn't train for it because he just ended up boosting himself and flying over the crowd. I could swear I heard a snap. And honestly, I was genuinely scared after this because he wasn't moving. I mean, he just laid there lifeless, just like. Anyway, as if things weren't already bad enough, this kid looks at me after he's taking down the priest, and then he just goes, I did it, I did it. And then everybody just turns and starts giving me that look, that dead stare, as if I just ordered a hitman to take down the priest. I mean, I was like, it's not me, but it was him. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you feel like if everything was ever against you, you just oral farm and lock in and march your way through, but in reality, you just start bawling your eyes out. Well, this was actually what happened to me because I felt that if there was ever a situation where everyone was against me, I just, give them that Sigma look and tell them what's what and everyone would respect me. But in the end, I was just trying my best to hold myself together from crying like a bitch. And just when things were starting to look like my 12 precious years on this earth was over, this wonderful man, this adult who I'm sure every kid would aspire to be like, gets up, clears his throat, and goes, "You evil fuck." Luckily, the issue was later on resolved by security, but after that, I never went to another church by myself ever again. In fact, I never went to another church for almost a month period because I was actually banned anyway, but yeah. Anyway, that is the end of my greatest Sunday escapade. If you like this video, then please do be sure to like, share, subscribe, and just help me out because I'm pretty broke and hungry and your boy could really use a win right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!